So all throughout this Advent season, as you know, many of you know, we've been taking these field trips during worship. We really have. We would sing a few songs, and then we'd all walk outside, and we'll walk down the street or something, or if it's really far, we'll load up that bus that council won't let me buy, and we'll go and we'll visit a home. And these homes belong to the writers of the four Gospels: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Obviously, it's all been imaginary, but for the past 4 weeks, we've done this Christmas tour of homes. Each week, we would read the beginning of a gospel to see what it says about the birth of Jesus. And then we'll go on to imagine what that gospel writer, what that writer's home would look like at Christmas time. How do they decorate for the holiday? Who would be visiting them? What kind of hospitality is offered? So if there are some of you out there who are disappointed that this trip is over, I have good news for you tonight. We have one more stop to make. Before you think there's some estranged fifth gospel out there, it's not that. Tonight, we're going to your house. Okay? I felt the blood pressure rise a little bit. I mean, there's probably dishes in the sink, right? There's probably a ton of vacuuming that still needs done, and are there even enough cookies left for everyone? Now, before I stress you out, again, remember, imaginary. But let's go to your house. And when we get there, let's ask that same question we've been asking every gospel writer's house. What does Christmas look like here? What does Christmas look like at your house? What do your decorations tell us about what Christmas means to you? Is every available inch covered with some festive item, or is there just a small Christmas tree on top of a TV tray in the corner? Do your decorations tell a story, having been passed down from generation to generation, filled with meaning? Or are they things you've recently found that simply bring you a sense of happiness and joy? Are most, if not all of them, still packed away in the attic because you haven't had the time to even get them out? Or do you not maybe own any decorations because you don't really even have the desire to decorate? How clean is your house this Christmas? There's the question, because obviously that's important. I saw on Facebook not long ago something that said, "Didn't Jane just host the greatest Christmas party? Her baseboards were so clean." You know, we think that we have to have all these tasks done, to have people over, to have Christmas happen, but we know that dusting is not the most important part of Christmas. So what else is going on at your house? Is it just you, or a small group, or is it a full house? Is it the same people each year, or do you never know who's going to walk in the door? Family? Friends? Lonely strangers? Neighbors? Do you squeeze everyone possible at the table, or you just let them find a corner of the house where they can sit and eat and visit? What does Christmas look like? Obviously, you know what it looks like. It may be the same each and every year down to the hour, or maybe drastically different each time. So let's think about your house this year. Is it filled with joy and happiness? Or is there a deep sadness because there's an empty spot or spots at the table this year? Is something missing inside of you? Or are you carrying an extra heavy weight or burden and you just haven't been able to get into the spirit this year? Maybe you're just going through the motions, or maybe you can't even muster up the energy to do the motions. So maybe the question for this Christmas then is, what does Christmas need to look like for you this year? Because we didn't come together on this night to give thanks for decorations or holiday meals. We came tonight to worship, to remember that God has come into this world as a human being, as one of us. To remember that God is absolutely aware of all the pain and the sorrow that we carry and the brokenness and the dark places that surround us in this world. God knows that things aren't perfect. God knows that as hard as we may try, we will still never be burdenless, sinless human beings. But yet, God still loves us. And God still entered this world to be with us. Which, of course, also means that when each of us answer that question, what does Christmas at your house look like? Each of us can now say without a doubt, first and foremost, God is there. And that's the most important part. I don't care how dusty or decorated your house may or may not be, God entered the world to be with each and every one of us. Christmas is that sign that God is here in our homes or those places we call home, in our lives, in our world. God is here, God is with you, and God will always be with you. So Merry Christmas.